Today I'll be discussing the HP 12C Platinum calculator, one of the most powerful calculators, especially in the world of finance. Today I'll give you a brief introduction. This is just something that I've prepared, both all of the graphics and so forth that you see. I've created those just to show and gauge the potential for the department and Dr. Richards, just to see what our potential is and what we can do in the world as far as the web and getting the information and increasing the overall revenue for the department and the school through this type of program and offering. There is a big piece that plays in line also with the AACSB accreditation by offering programs like this, but let's go ahead and begin. Today, once again, we're going to be talking about the HP 12C Platinum electronic edition of this calculator. I've prepared a few brief examples of what the calculator can do through this format, a visual presentation as to better deliver the information to the students and improving the quality of learning. First, let's look at some basic financial calculations and just get familiar with the buttons on the keypad and the five most used buttons when doing different investment type math. Those keys, those five keys, first begin with the N key, which represents the number of years or periods for any particular formula. The I or interest key, of course, self-explanatory, determines the amount of interest in the formula. The PV key, which stands for present value, what you would need to achieve a certain point in the future. The payment key, or PMT. And the FV key, which represents the future value key. All of these keys work together, and when given the command, will deliver, if other information is in the calculator, will deliver to you the sum or result. Next, let's go through one quick example. Say, for instance, we would like to achieve $50,000 over the course of 10 years with an interest rate of 7%. How will we enter that into our calculator? The book may explain something like this. Hopefully this type of format simplifies it for you. But first, let's just go ahead and get started. What we would do is we would enter the number 50,000 by using the keypad to your right. You would enter in the 5 and then the zeros to come up with the 50,000. Next, what would you do? Once again, you enter the FV key for future value, and once again, Dr. Richards, this is some of the things that kind of simplify teaching this type of class or presentation over the web or even in class as far as a presentation. So we enter the FV key for the future value. That's what we want to achieve in 10 years. Next, we have our interest rate, which was 7%. So we enter the number 7 followed by the interest key, which is I. Alright, next we know our period was 10 years. So we enter the number 10 followed by the N key, which represents the number of years. So, next what will we do? We enter the PV key to come up with the present value, which would then tell us how much we would need today in order to achieve $50,000 in 10 years, getting 7% interest. So, let's figure out the answer. If you came up with $25,417.46, you are right. But remember, this is the most powerful calculator in the world of finance. So what else can we do? We don't have to change any of the other numbers, but let's say we would like to see or run a hypothetical if we change the interest rate. Say we change the interest rate to 8. Interest rate 8, remember, we punched in the number 8 followed by what key? That's right, the I key for interest. Next, all we want to do is see what the calculation would be once again if we simply change the interest rate. So we've entered the number 8, hit the interest key, followed by the PV key for the present value, and what do we get? A different sum. Because we're getting a higher rate of interest, the returns going to be a little different. So we have $23,159.67. Now, let's say for instance we change the number of years from 10 years to 12 years. Alright, so we enter the number 12, and because we changed the years, what key does that represent? Represents the N key. Alright, so we would hit that, also followed by, once again, the present value. We come up with a different number, and that number is $19,855.69. So as we've increased the number of years, we get a lower number needed today, as well as in the previous example, we increased the interest, so we needed less money to invest today as well in order to achieve our goal. A couple more things is, in order to change the decimal places at the end, what you would do is hit the F key, the orange key there highlighted in yellow, followed by the number of decimal places that you would like. In this case, we have 2 decimal places, so we would hit the number 2, and then that would change our calculator to represent 2 decimal places. You could also use 3 or 4. It's up to you depending on the calculation. This concludes my presentation as to the possibilities that we have in the finance department at Lincoln University. Hopefully you find this presentation enlightening, and you can kind of get on the same page that I'm on, even in seeing the many possibilities that we have in working together to change and bring technology to the world of finance through our great institution, which is Lincoln University. Thanks. If you have any questions about this, please give me a call. My number is 302-218-6407. Once again, that's 302-218-6407. Or shoot me an email at lamargunn, that's LAMARGUNN, at mac.com, mac.com. Thanks, and have a wonderful day. Take care.